Well, we've done the area under a curve, integration, and all that. Now, Simpson rule, just briefly, this is the formula that we use. A to B, of course, they are the limits. F of x is the function. Now, b minus a over 6, f of a is the first function, plus 4 times a plus b over 2, that's the middle part, plus f of b. And always three function values should be required for each application of Simpson rule. We'll start with this simple example using Simpson rule to give the approximation of from 1 to 2 x squared dx. Now, applying the formula, to us a is 1, b is 2. I would just substitute in it, so approximately we'll have 2 minus 1 over 6 f of 1 f of 1 plus 4 f of a plus b over 2, which is 1 plus 2 over 2, plus f of 2. When we say the function here that we have, of course our function is x squared, which is parabola. So f of x is equal x squared. That's where we're going to substitute the 1 and the 2 and etc. So continuing from that, we'll get 2 minus 1 over 6, which is 1 on 6, bracket. F of 1, substituting 1 instead of x, it gives you 1 squared, plus 4, 3 over 2, all squared, plus 2 squared. Doing all that on a calculator, you will end up with approximately 1 on 6 times 14, and this will give us the answer of 7 over 3, and of course square units. That's the simplest type of example. So you will always need to put an exact value when the function representing a parabola, etc. Okay, now if we have more than one subinterval, we are given this type of formula. Now h over 3, sum of end ordinates plus 2 times sum of odd ordinates plus 4 times sum of even ordinates. And sometimes the students get confused. What's odd? What's even? What's all this? Now, first of all, let's explain what is h. h is the width of each subinterval. And if you are thinking of any of those, if you have something of that form and you are given a curve like that, this is your A, this is your B, and h represents this part. This is your h. It's the width of each subinterval in this case. So if I wanted to find the width of each one of those, all I have to do is saying B, take away A, dividing by how many subintervals there is. This is what we call a subinterval. This is subinterval, this is subinterval, this is subinterval. But to us, sometimes they're given the functions. So if he said, okay, find the Simpson rule over for this curve with the 3 function values. 3 function values, to us it means 2 subintervals, such as in this example, y equal 1 over x is a hyperbola, and they ask you to find it from 1 to 2. To us in this case, there is 2 subintervals, but there is 3 functions. So if I wanted to find sometimes a subinterval, so to us subinterval is the function number of functions minus 1. So if they say 5 functions, you would have 4 subintervals, and this is your n. Then you will be able to calculate h, which is the limits of the last one minus the first one over how many subintervals you have over 2. So then you will be able to substitute in the formula easily. Now we go back to what's odd, what's even. This is a typical example from 2005, and it's worth 3 marks. I know it shouldn't take a couple of minutes to do it. The table is given to you, so just let's label what's given to us. You have 5 values of functions, so that first thing you will know that you have n is equal to, so you have 5 values, so you have 5 values of function here. This means n equal to 4. So that means we have 4 subintervals. And if I wanted to show you that, that's from 0 to 5, 1, 2, 3, 4 subintervals. Okay? Now, this represents A and this represents B. So if I wanted to find h in this case, h would be B minus A over n. So h is actually equal to 20, take away 0 over 4, which gives you 5. So you've got h. Now, odd and even, if I wanted to label them, I might have to say, okay, this is y0, this is y1, y2, y3, y4. Okay, that gets confusing. What's odd, what's even. So I don't like this. So I would use it in a way. If I had to use the first 3 divided and then again start from there to there. So to me, it will be 4 times y1 and 4 times y3, right? And you will be repeating twice y2 will be 2 times y2. So why not start it this way? Having said that, you will have to say 5 is your h over 3, because that's what's the formula, h over 3, bracket, the first ordinate of the first end, it's a 15, okay, directly 4 times the next one, which is 4 times 25, plus 2 times 22, plus 4 times the next one, plus the last one. And that will be much easier and much quicker to do than remembering, oh, okay, it's 4 times the odd, then 2 times the even, etc. And each book says it in a different way. Write the first end plus 4 directly times the next box, plus 2 times the next box, plus 4 times the next box, plus 10. That's quicker. And put all that on the calculator, and you end up 5 over 3 times 241. And the answer at the end is 401 and 2/3. And voila, this is 3 marks on your HSC. That's all you need to do.